Iwasi Hardware, your store for cooler weather and a whole lot more.
The Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, we're back with you this morning. Hope everybody's doing good on this Tuesday morning. We didn't have Monday off like last week, so everybody's back online in time and all the rest of that stuff, except for Packy. He didn't make it till yesterday. And he's all excited. He's chewing his, what are you chewing?
Granola.
He's got his granola in, trying to make, we got Mike back in here.
Granola cud.
We should be to Mike's Moments here in just a minute. Mike's Moments and Birthdays in History. There you go. That's a cool name.
That's good.
Mike's
It's kind of
Moments.
a long title.
Too many.
Oh, shut up.
I can't remember
Don't
that
tell me to
much.
shut up.
What'd you
we
come
just
up
started
with?
the show.
What'd you
Remember
come up
all of
with?
that.
I thought it was Mike's musical moments.
But he's got birthdays in there too.
Okay.
Mike's musical moments and birthdays
That's it.
list. Oh well. Hey, I don't know if you got this in there or not.
Derived from various websites across the interweb.
That he does all by himself.
Right.
Hey, in 2005, this is pretty good. I reckon Johnny and June Cash passed away, so they actually had a property.
You reckon they did?
The property of the estate of Johnny and June Cash raised $1.24 million on the first day of a 3-day auction in New York City. Items sold included a custom-made acoustic guitar for $131,200. That's a lot. I don't know if I'd ever play that. I just hang it on the wall and look at it and say, I'll give over $100,000 for that. Oh, man, that'd buy a lot of potted meat. Hey.
Your wife would have you sitting outside, I think.
Had an autographed photo of Elvis Presley to June Carter, sold for $18,000. That's a lot of jack, ain't it?
Yeah.
And
There's some serious collectors
a
out there.
striped prisoner jacket from Folsom Prison pulls $6,000. Don't they just? I mean, they're like, just I guess because they were his.
I wonder if they washed it first.
Probably
well, I don't.
not.
He never actually was incarcerated in Folsom Prison, so.
No, he did this show though.
Yeah, he did the show, but he didn't
Yeah.
wear the outfit. It's not like he wore that.
He probably did.
No, he was in black. The man in black was in black.
But he, at one point, you'd have to try it on. I'm gonna see if that fits. Would you not think?
I wouldn't
No,
want to know if it fits.
I wouldn't bother.
I would.
I wouldn't bother.
You never know.
The thing that struck me when we visited Nashville anytime was there's a guitar on every wall everywhere.
Yeah.
Guitars are
Everybody's-
so common they decorate their walls with them.
Today is National Parents Day Off Day. So take the day off.
Now, why would they make that day be in the middle of the week when most people have to work?
This is I don't know.
Does
This
that mean
parents off, calling sick.
you get the day off?
Yeah, I think so. Cream-filled donut day, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. Don't you love them things? I'd give me heartburn though, man. I am not kidding.
It doesn't stop you from eating them, though. I will say that.
Eat a hoagie day. Live creativity day.
Packy, it's National Sober Day.
Oh, Packy.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I missed it. Trying to get this stuff set up, man.
Yeah.
We're TikToking, right?
We are.
Well, what is TikTok? I mean, what is our TikTok
I don't
thing?
even know what it is. I'll have to go back and find out.
You don't know our name on TikTok?
I don't.
Is it like the morning dish, perhaps?
Something. Yeah, if you type in the morning dish, it should come up.
I don't know. National Virginia Day. What's in Virginia? The beach. I got
Alexandra, Richmond.
Richmond.
Richmond's a neat town,
Oh, I
actually.
don't. Ain't it Virginia? What is it? What is it? What is the?
Virginia is for lovers.
Yeah, what's the beach everybody always goes to?
Ocracoke.
Oh, I don't know. No, it's not
The Outer
that.
Banks.
So
Myrtle
that's in
Beach.
North Carolina, ain't it?
Well,
I think so.
it's on the
I
edge.
get those all mixed up.
It's on the edge.
That's a
so
long-
you can actually via the North Beach up there, the Outer Banks, go over into Virginia there. So I think that's where the wild horses are at.
Wild horses. Actually, you ain't supposed to get on that beach unless you got a 4-wheel drive. Now, I got a buddy of mine went out there last week, and he said that actually they don't let you on the beach now unless
Oh,
you go with a tour.
of course.
company.
So you have to pay something.
Well,
Everything.
me and my
to be
wife
on
went
your
out there. We
horse.
didn't see the little sign that said 4-wheel drive only, so we're going down the beach in
Minivan.
a Dodge Marauder. I mean, a Mercury Marauder. We're just cruising down the beach,
That's
man.
a cool car, man.
We come
Those
back.
Marauders.
Yeah, we come back, and there was a sign that says no 4-wheel, nothing but 4-wheel drives. And if you get stuck, then they give you a big ticket. But we didn't get stuck. The ticket is to stay over 100 mile an hour down the beach. That is so much fun. No, they did it in Daytona. They used to race on the beach in
Yeah.
Daytona back years ago.
Yep, they did.
I love watching them. They actually some of them on YouTube. Right.
I've got a bunch of pictures of my dad's old cars he had, and they're all on the beach, and everybody's out there racing cars and doing that stuff. They don't
Yeah.
let you do it anymore.
I know you can still ride motorcycles and stuff on the beach in Daytona though.
Well,
Can
the
you? not?
police can ride motorized vehicles, like four-wheelers and stuff,
You
but
can't-
not the peasants.
On Daytona though, you can't you?
Can you?
I think you can, can't you?
I think there's a stretch that you can ride on,
Yeah.
just a stretch.
And what they get you on that, there's like a 50-foot spot that you can't go across. So you have to go out and go down the road and then go back on.
It's like going from LJ to Jasper and that zone there where
Yeah.
it's 55, but it just feels like it should be 65.
I think that's a trap, man. That's a speed trap's what that is.
It's just sad though. When we were younger, they've commercialized everything so much. You have to pay to do everything.
they're
To
up
park
here-
on the side of the road, you got to pay. Like in New Bronzeville, the Guadalupe River, you got to pay to park on the side of the road.
I know it.
It's crazy.
And used to, you could stop anywhere you wanted to and take a leak. But nowadays, they got these no peeing signs up everywhere.
I know.
It's like a big P with an X through the middle of it. So you can't pee there.
It's a picture of somebody.
I will. Where you going?
Are you on that list, Stephen?
Packy, can you get ready for Mike's moments
You have to,
in
get,
Yes,
history and
please.
birthdays?
you
Mike,
have to go to Europe if you want to pee off the side of the road from your car.
is that what it is?
Yeah,
I ain't
go to
driving.
Europe.
I don't think I can hold it that long. Oh, here we
Here we
go,
go,
baby.
yeah.
Turn it up.
Guitar player for Leonard Skinner, Steve Gaines, has a birthday today. Today is the 14th, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So there we go.
Come on.
We got guitar players kicking us off. And Paul Kossoff of Free.
Oh, that was a
He had
smooth
his
transition
birthday.
there,
Wasn't that
man.
good, boy?
Worked on that
I
one.
spent all afternoon
He had to
working
take
on
the
that.
day off yesterday to do that.
love it.
all afternoon.
We're rocking this morning.
That's right. And now we've got something especially for Sherry. Barry Cowsill, drummer and bass player for the Cowsills. Now, how he played the drums and the bass at the same time, I do not know.
How did they come up with the name Cow Seals?
Well, that was their last name. I would have changed it.
And how is this for me?
Just figured you'd like it.
Oh, here we go.
Here we
We
go.
rocking this morning. and What a great day.
Steve Berlin of Los Lobos. Happy birthday to Steve Berlin.
There you go.
Now we go country. Beth Nielsen Chapman, 1958.
That's Beth Nielsen Chapman. We've had her on.
Yeah, she had her own record. And our friend John Barry, he was born in 1959. Some good music there.
Oh, I've lost that love and feeling, man.
That's right.
What happened to the good rock and roll?
Country crooners. Anyway, it just kind of went that way. That's the best I could do. And then we move on. Danielle Peck. She had a birthday in 1978, which seems just like last week.
That's some of that 90s tunes, right? Or what
It
was
does
this?
sound a little 92,000, something like that.
Yeah.
You can tell by the reverb and the chorus they use on the guitars
Yeah.
and the tinkling synthesizers.
Tinkling.
And Steve
Amy
Phillips driving down the
Winehouse.
road crying, listening to this in the rain.
Ah, I know this song.
It's not the Supremes.
No, I don't know this song.
it's Amy. Right, that's what I said. It's Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Is that kin to that Winehouse guy
But-
that's in trouble?
Probably.
Yeah.
But here comes a song that you know. Didn't you used to sit around on Saturday morning and watch the Archies?
Oh, is that the Archies?
That's the Archies.
No, I was a Bugs Bunny guy.
Were you? Well, anyway, this show debuted in 1968.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
We've had this guy on.
This is one of the best pop tunes ever. I just
know it.
love
What is
listening
his
to this
name?
thing. Who wrote Sugar Sugar? I don't know.
Yeah. Who's singing this?
This is the Archies. This is their first big hit.
We've had this guy
Sugar,
on, I'm
Sugar.
telling you. What is his
Yeah.
name, Packy?
Quickly, we have to look it up.
We
Sherry's
need to
looking
get
it
him
up right
back
now.
on.
I don't.
Anyway, that wraps us up for musical birthdays and interesting things. We've got some real interesting things coming for you tomorrow.
I think this guy that
including
wrote
some
this
TV
song
commercials.
I think this guy that wrote this song actually cruised around in a van back
Wasn't
in the
the
day.
rubber ball guy, was it? No, that's the circle.
Yeah,
Circle.
Red Rubber Ball was a circle.
That was a circle.
That's a different one.
Well,
Well, that's a good song to end up on.
it is a good song.
I think we
It's a
had
good
him
song,
on the same
period.
day we had Burt Reynolds, Pool Boy. I think that's when we had him, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Or was it John Snyder's Mechanic? I don't remember.
I
think it
got
was
John
just-
Snyder Mechanic
John
coming
Snyder's
back
mo-
on.
Hey there.
Hey, come on in here.
We got a young
We-
man here that has got. Did you bring the Cobra Killer, Stephen?
I did not bring the Cobra Killer. I didn't want to embarrass the man driving the Cobra with the Cobra Killer, but I brought the minivan. How are you, brother?
Hey, Billy. Come on in.
Come on in. This guy actually owns a Cobra, so we know he's rich.
And he's here to hand me some money for the air
How
show.
come? Whoa! How come she gets some money?
Bec-
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, it's Billy Godfrey. He's been supporting this event for us, and we really appreciate him. Some of his cohorts are going to show up at the show next week.
Yep, we're looking forward to it, man. Yep. Looking forward to.
I will get it to Galen this week.
Thank you, kind
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Let's jump to.
Did you bring your car? Hang on, I want to come look at it.
She wants to come look. She wants to take a ride. She wants to take a ride in the Cobra.
We need to thank Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services. With 20 years of experience in the plumbing industry and state-of-the-art technology, you can trust them to save you a ton of money. Feel free to contact them at any time to receive a free quote. Call Eric at 706-897-9110.
And now with more news for Western North Carolina and North Georgia, I'm Jeff Batten. A busy week for law enforcement in Andrews. A press release from the Andrews Police Department states that authorities arrested Andrews resident Devin Blaine Jones Monday following accusations of child sex abuse. Jones is being held on a $500,000 secured bond. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree statutory sex offense and 2 counts of indecent liberties with a child. The charges are the result of an investigation conducted by the Andrews Police Department and other agencies. And in a separate matter in the same town, about 100 grams of meth have been taken off the streets of Andrews. The police department reports that 6 locals were arrested on drug offenses late last week, and law enforcement is looking for a 7th by the name of Richard Stinchcomb in connection. The early morning bust happened at 85 Temple Street in Andrews. Organizers of the soon-to-be-built Appalachian Veterans Park in Blairsville are still looking for private donations, maybe as much as $150,000 to make their dream come true. Blairsville resident Rob Moyer is still hoping for a groundbreaking this fall and makes the point it will be a nice upgrade from the current Veterans Memorial in Union County.
And it's going to be in Meeks Park, where we can have hundreds and hundreds of people come to a 9/11 event or a Memorial Day event or Veterans Day event. And we think it's going to be of a size and scope that it actually becomes a tourist attraction and attracts veterans from all over the region.
For Pat Malone and Harry Bond, I'm Jeff Batten.
Honey, what happened? You're all wet.
I've been trying to find this dang leak.
Why don't we call some...
No, I got this.
You always turn these things into a DIY. Why did you do that? I'm calling Grayland Leak Detection Service.
Grayland has specialized equipment to pinpoint any leak, inside or underground, and fix it fast at a fraction of the cost of replacing your whole water service. Call Eric now at Grayland at 706-897-9110 or GraylandLeakDetection.com.
Finally, our water bill looks normal again.
Why suffer from wounds that won't heal due to diabetes, injury, surgery, or other causes? The new Wound Care Center at Erlanger Western Carolina Hospital helps difficult wounds heal, and it's right here in Murphy. Call 828-837-7166. Boundary Waters Resort and Marina on Lake Chattooga is the #1 JC Tri-Tune dealer in the country, specializing in luxury performance tri-tunes with reliable Suzuki outboard power. As the exclusive dealer for JC Tri-Tune in the Lake Chattooga area, our professional sales and service team will get you out on the water in style. For the best selection and pricing on new and used JC Tri-Tunes in the North Georgia mountains, visit Boundary Waters Resort and Marina at bwboating.com or call 706-896-2530.
It's time now to honor the Prep Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Ware Chevrolet in Blairsville, supporting the champions of tomorrow from the 5-county area.
The Hayesville Yellow Jackets now 4-0 after a big win over Lookout Valley Friday night. Senior quarterback Logan Caldwell accounted for 3 touchdowns in the win, throwing for 2 and running for 1. 135 passing yards and 45 yards rushing for Logan Caldwell of Hayesville, the Ware Chevrolet Athlete of the Week.
Warm weather demands a lot from our trucks.
For towing boats to the lake.
Bed covers to hide work equipment.
Heck, I'd just settle for a cool rain guard for when you need to crack the windows on a hot day.
So Rose Auto is always thinking of ways to get you where you need to go. For bed covers, towing accessories, and great car audio.
It's Rose Auto on the Murphy Highway. The only way to go this summer.
Right. And who has the tailgate rack for the grill? Don't say it, I know. Rose Auto in Blairsville on the Murphy Highway.
Shop the end of summer clearance at Carolina Furniture and Mattress Outlet in Hayesville for big savings. You'll love our selection. We have home furnishings in stock and ready to take home or have delivered. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and home accents are on sale. It's a great time to shop. You'll find savings in every department. Hurry in for massive savings on the end of summer clearance at Carolina Furniture and Mattress Outlet in Hayesville. Going on now.
Erlanger Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Murphy is pleased to welcome Dr. Eric Clark to Western Carolina. Dr. Clark is now accepting new patients at 828-492-2146. That's 828-492-2146.
I just heard the screams down at your mailbox, and I know why. Your water bill is 8 times what it was last month. I bet it's a leak. Call Grayland Leak Detection at 706-897-9110. Get the water bill under control when you call Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services.
Oh, we're back. We're back.
Are you done with your texting over there?
Surprise. Well, we're back.
You're done salivating over Billy's car?
I smell like exhaust fumes.
Man, that's a beautiful car. That's a beautiful car.
Golly, bum. Sherry went out there and got in that thing, man. We about didn't get her out of it.
Hush. Hush. Well, I was trying to shoot
Her
a video.
bones cracking and she's, wait, whoa, you're pulling my hip. Let me, whoa. Come on, Sherry, we got to go back in.
Well, I was trying to take a video, but half the video's blocked out by your rear end. Thank you for walking right in front of me while I was doing that.
Oh, well.
Smarty.
Oh,
no, but truly, thank you, Billy Godwin. He donated some money for the air show. He's been a big supporter, and his group is going to be out there next Saturday. So if you want to see a bunch of beautiful cars.
Yep, come on out. There's going to be cars, planes, people. We're going to have soldiers. We're going to have everything going on out there, and that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
And just for you, the police are also going to be there.
Yeah, they better be driving something fast, because hopefully I'll be driving the Cobra Killer. We'll see. We'll go up there and beg the lady that owns it. Please let me drive the Cobra.
Well, after what you did to Packy's car and after smashing into a little old lady in the minivan, I would say that's a big fat no.
That's the thing, though, man. You know, you get these people that, and they let me drive their cars, and they're like, you know, their cars cost more than, $300.
You haven't test driven Packy's new pickup, have you?
No, he won't let me in.
No.
I'm scared to death I'm going to skin him up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof. You've heard that saying, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nervous.
I am that old.
Hey, we got an Australian man killed by a kangaroo. First fatal attack in 85 years. I didn't know them things could kill you.
Heck yeah, the big ones.
We was on
seen the feet on those things?
We was on there the other day. This guy down there in Australia, I got that Run Drip Bubble Company. We do like a live thing on Sunday afternoon, you know. And he was from Australia. He's a YouTuber from Australia. And he said them things run around his backyard just like wild animals. He said they're all over.
Possums or whatever.
Yeah, he said we have to run them off. He said I have to keep constantly because, they're out in Australia. He said kind of out in the country, so their Wi-Fi is different. But they're always going in there and attacking the thing, whatever it is that hooks up his Wi-Fi. And then he's constantly trying to keep them things out. He said
they're a problem with roadkill like deer are here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there's a ton of them. The bad thing about this is apparently this kangaroo was the guy's pet.
Yeah, that's the kind that gets you.
And then the kangaroo wouldn't let the paramedics get to the fella.
Oh, dear. Goodness.
Really?
Yep.
I guess that's because, over here, we got, over there, they got these kangaroos that kill you, and over here, we got pit bulls. So I guess it's to each his own, right?
That's the Australian pit bull, is that what you're saying? Gosh.
But he said they just run around all over the place, I didn't know that.
Maybe because they drive on the wrong side of the road over there, you don't have a problem with roadkill.
We were trying to figure out who
I'm sure
did
that doesn't.
Okay, who come up with that? Honestly, I don't understand. We were trying to figure that out the other night.
Come up with what?
The right-hand drive. Why? Who come up with it? Because cars come out on left-hand drive, did they not? I mean, back in the day?
I think it's because there was a big body of water between us and Great Britain back at the time.
Well, you got
they
like
did
what,
things their way,
Mercedes and all
we
them.
did
They
things
were
our way.
some of the cutting edges, the one that had the cars to
You
begin
get
with.
used to it though. When we were in St. Thomas, it was kind of funny. You get off the plane, you get to the airport. You haven't seen anybody driving yet, so you get off the plane, and you go to the rental car thing, and you go through the whole process. And the very end, they hand you the keys and say, "Oh, by the way, don't forget to drive on the other side of the road."
Well, actually, driving on the left-hand side of the road was started first.
How do you know that?
It started in the Middle Ages during the Roman Empire.
Well, what do you know?
Well, they had horses, though.
Yeah, but it continued
Quick,
when cars
turn.
came into being.
You have 30 seconds to turn.
I wonder if it was arbitrary
I'm
or
just
if it was,
saying.
maybe it was because the
I mean, but
emperor.
it like
This
horses-
is according to Mercedes-Benz.
the emperor was left-handed. or
Horses
something.
didn't have stern wheels. You had ropes, and so you could stand on either side. It wouldn't. You stood in the middle, did you not?
Yeah, but you always
The
get on a
reason the
horse.
Romans did that
You
is they
always
could
get
draw
on a
their
horse
sword.
on the left side.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I knew there was something going on when I was riding a horse.
Draw their sword. So like when they're not jousting, but
The
when they're
Romans
battling.
chose to ride on the left side of the road because they could draw their swords more conveniently for battle.
That would really stink for
'Cause they were
the,
right-handed people.
It'd really stink for the left-handed swordsman,
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well,
I wish we could still do that. Like people driving in the left-hand lane, we could just draw our swords and cut their tires. And all y'all out there riding down the road listening right
fast
now,
lane,
look
yep.
and see which lane you're in. That just runs me crazy.
What do you mean?
People driving in the left-hand, the hammer lane. We call
Oh
it the
yeah,
hammer
the
lane.
hammer lane. Yeah. If you're going slow, get over.
And I always pull up beside and look in their window just to see what, and they're just looking there. and it's
There's
like-
Packy.
Also known
Now,
as lane
because
number
you-
one.
They got no respect for nobody but themselves.
Now, do you get out of the left-hand lane when you've got? Or do you just ride in it, going as fast as you can with whatever piece of junk
I
you're driving?
normally have to pass the next car.
You test drove my car and you drove in the left-hand lane the whole time, but it was a double yellow and you were in the left side.
I was passing. I was passing.
Oh my!
He was passing everything that was on the
passing
right.
everything.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword having Steven help you test your car out. Say, what's wrong with my car? And he's like, well, hang on, I got to go 120 miles an hour to find out.
We figured it out, though.
Yeah, he found out.
Yeah. Yeah, we
You
figured
can usually figure it out, but it's the process of it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah. I'd like to have a kangaroo, though.
And as a matter of fact, after that, the car did not run
Yeah, after
anymore.
that, it didn't really.
gonna say,
that was
Well, we
about
figured
it.
out what's wrong with it, but can you own kangaroos?
He had to show you a few
I
junkyards
think you have to
along the
get.
way.
I think you. I don't know. I know you used to be able to get a permit for that.
You have to have
don't
a
know.
permit. God, you have a permit for everything.
What, to go in the fast lane?
No, wild animals. I mean.
Oh, yeah,
normal-
exotic animals,
Exotic
yeah.
animals. Yeah. And
Why do you need
and
a
it
permit?
changes state to state.
Why do you need a permit?
Well, part of the reason that Florida is inundated with snakes is because people brought them in there and dumped them. The pythons.
Well, they had good intentions, but I just don't understand. Everything got to have a permit. You got to have a permit for freedom now. You got to have a
permit to
for
drive.
breed. You got to have a permit for that, a permit for this. I can understand the driving thing because that's like your own government paved.
All right. Well,
roads
people
is
don't have
paid
to
by
have a permit
taxpayers.
to have kids, and you have to do a little bit of training to drive a car. But any idiot can have a kid. Okay.
What?
Yeah, that's excluded, I guess.
So if you can have a kid, you ought to be able to have a pet.
Pet
kangaroo.
python.
If the kid survives.
Pet kangaroo.
If the kid survives, then you can have the kangaroo.
Have you
Stephen.
seen these people that's got kids and the kids are smarter than the parents?
That's a lot of them. I know a couple of yours.
It's pretty much normal. At
Hey, I
least.
got, you know, it's
My
funny you
kids are
talk about
smarter
kids.
than
Wait a
this
minute,
parent.
I got a California parents. This is it. We're talking about kids. California parents of 12 kids reveal Memorial back to school ready, set, go tips. They got 12
Memorable. It's not memorial. That's memorable.
kids. It needs to be memorial.
Ready, set, go tips.
They need to be ready, set, whoa tips because they got 12 kids. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, come on, 12 kids.
Maybe they're Catholic.
After some point, oh, here we go picking on the Catholic.
No.
No, it's true.
It's that fish on Fridays that does it.
No, I think it's the no birth control and alcohol. I think that's what
That
does it.
mixes up on that. That's where the kids are smarter than the parents. Yeah, yeah. 12 kids? Can you imagine 12 kids?
Oh, no, I can't.
What part of, honey, I got a headache? Do you not understand? Come on. 12 kids? That's like a ball team. Is
Now,
it?
if it was 1850, that would be logical.
You
Well, you
gotta-
could
that would
work
be
them.
gotta
You
run
needed
the
them to
farm.
work.
Yeah,
Right.
you gotta run the
Yeah.
farm.
Nowadays, you just get, I guess, government checks. That's what it's all about. Don't you get, after you had so many kids, don't they start sending you a government check?
Oh, really?
Oh, Kelsey, you look really good tonight.
How much are those?
There is something about that, though.
There's Packy. Student loans paid off.
So how many kids do you
12
need to have a
kids.
football team? I mean, just your side. 12? Is it 12?
I think you have. Isn't it 12? How many's on the field? I should know that, but I don't on football.
You
Anybody?
should.
You're guys. You're supposed to know this stuff.
Oh, I didn't play
Guys
football.
were raised on football,
Yeah.
right?
Or baseball. So they got a whole team here.
I like basketball.
Ready, set, go. Ready, set, whoa. That's what I say. Y'all quit. That's enough.
Hey, I want to mention one thing. Speaking of kids, if it's okay, Stephen, the fair's this weekend, and I had a misunderstanding, I think, of some things that I said yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I just want to clarify. The fair is this weekend on Friday and Saturday from 10 to 10. They will. The tickets are $10 for adults, unless you're a senior, and then it's $5, and they're $5 for children. Let's see, 6 to 17 years, and the school system is
What
actually
fair?
the Cherokee County Fair in Andrews.
Oh, okay.
The Cherokee County Fair is
Cherokee
happening.
County
But I just
Fair.
wanted to really thank Cherokee County School District. They bought about, I think, 3,000 tickets
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
give to all the students. And if they go to the fair, I think they can miss school on Friday.
Oh,
That's a deal.
Ooh.
I'm all about that.
Ooh.
That's a deal.
And you can actually buy the tickets online at CherokeeCountyNCFair.org.
All right, we're gonna get to break. Hopefully, we'll have Ned Ledoux up next if everything works out just
Oh,
right.
that's good.
I know me and Mike did our part. Now we can just see if Packy can get back in the groove here. So, okay.
Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Service with over 20 years experience. You can count on them for all your plumbing needs. Specializing in underground leak detection, they have the equipment that can save you thousands of dollars. Go to GraylandLeakDetection.com or call Eric at 706-897-9110.
Honey, what happened? You're all wet.
I've been trying to find this dang leak.
Why don't we call some...
No, I got this.
You always turn these things into a DI. Why did you do that? I'm calling Grayland Leak Detection Service.
Grayland has specialized equipment to pinpoint any leak, inside or underground, and fix it fast at a fraction of the cost of replacing your whole water service. Call Eric now at Grayland at 706-897-9110 or GraylandLeakDetection.com.
Finally, our water bill looks normal again.
Nothing shines brighter under the Friday night lights than a brand new Ford, and no better place to buy than Jackie Jones Ford in Hayesville. Take advantage of models in stock and on the lot at Jackie Jones Ford in Hayesville. From the moment you walk into the showroom, you'll know our commitment to customer service is second to none. Jackie Jones Ford of Hayesville, 1493 Highway 64 West, 828-389-6325, and online at jjfordhayesville.com. Shop the end of summer clearance at Carolina Furniture and Mattress Outlet in Hayesville for big savings. You'll love our selection. We have home furnishings in stock and ready to take home or have delivered. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and home accents are on sale. It's a great time to shop. You'll find savings in every department. Hurry in for massive savings on the end of summer clearance at Carolina Furniture and Mattress Outlet in Hayesville. Going on now.
You've been tubing in Helen, but now there's another option here in Warren, presenting the all-new West Tubing Company. Not your ordinary tubing company. From grandparents to little ones, young adults to teens, take a trip downriver, complete with rapids and clean mountain water, and stay afterward for fresh food from the grill and a full bar, along with live music. The all-new West Tubing Company in Warren, 6175 Old Highway 64. West Tubing Company, not your ordinary tubing company.
There's honey-do lists and there's honey I can't do this lists. Heavy digging, tree stump removal, driveway grading. Call Mike in Blairsville. Mike Whittemore runs Georgia Mountain Grading and he loves big jobs. Erosion control, culverts, and digging. Yeah, digging. We covered that already. Georgia Mountain Grading. They're insured and they answer when you call. Fast estimates at 706-994-0543 for Georgia Mountain Grading. 706-994-0543.
The Oaks Lakeside Kitchen invites you back to experience the warm Georgia welcome you've been missing and to taste your way through the locally crafted menu by Chef George. Relax around the dinner table with your friends and family with a curated cocktail at the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen. On the shores of Lake Chatuge, the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen welcomes you back. Reservations available at opentable.com. Dinner Friday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen.
Wednesday morning is a good time to get to the bottom of why your water bill is so high. If it is, call Grayland Leak Detection at 706-897-9110. Get the water bill under control when you call Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services.
We're back with you, and I'm excited to know him. We've got Ned Ledoux. Y'all know you knew his dad, Chris Ledoux, but he's out there hammering it, trying to keep the spirit alive. So how are you this morning, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Shoot, I'm glad to have you back. I keep up with you, man. I keep up with you on social media. You've been a busy boy, man.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. You know, the last couple of years, really. And, got a brand new album out, and new single just came out about a month ago or so. And so, yeah, it's all good.
So, I think the last time we talked, everybody was coming out of COVID or in the middle of all of COVID. And so now everybody's free. Of course, fuel prices is about to kill everybody trying to get from point A to point B. We had a guy on the other day that actually driving a micro minibus from point to point just so he could save some money. But how's it going on your live shows, man? They filling up? Everything going good with that?
Yeah. Every place we've been has been, really good crowds. And like you were saying, coming out of the pandemic, I know there's, even now or even still, there's probably, a lot of people that are a little bit skittish on getting out in big crowds like that. But, and that's totally understandable, to each their own.
Right.
But yeah, we've had some good crowds. It's just great to be back out there and doing it.
Yeah, I don't blame you a bit. And you've got a lot going on, man. It seems like you're booked out. Of course, you're out towards Texas in that area. I guess that's kind of where you're at. We're in the eastern side over here. But anyway, y'all can go to nedledoux.com and follow all the stuff that he's got going on. And I'm telling you, you're going to fall in love with his music. And, of course, his dad, with some influence with that. But now you've got this new song, This Old Mountain. Am I saying that right? Or The Mountain? Is that the new song? I love it.
Yeah, it's just called The Mountain. Yeah.
That's a rocking tune, man. I've got that on my playlist. I love it.
Hey, well, cool. Yeah, and when I wrote it, I was thinking it was going to be more of a, kind of a softer, maybe a little slower type of song, because it's a song that I wrote, for our Lord Jesus Christ.
Right.
It's for Him, and I've always looked at the mountain as church.
Right.
And or anywhere in nature. I mean, it could be the cornfield, it could be your front yard, maybe it's looking out across the ocean, wherever it is, beneath, the big blue sky.
Right.
And but when we got in the studio, my producer, the great Mac McAnally, he's like, all right, well, let's try one. And they clicked it off, and it had kind of this driving beat to it. And I never said anything until we got done with that first take. And I was just kind of in my little ISO booth. And
right.
I said, well, that was a little different than what I thought it would sound like. And Max said, well, we can try something else. I said, no, I think you guys nailed it. I think this is what it needs. This because, my Lord, he plays a heavy drum,
Yeah.
And so I think it fits perfect.
I'm with you on that. I mean, the song, as far as the way it's laid out, I love that driving sound. I love that guitar on it. I mean, I don't think he missed a beat on that. And
pretty tickled with it.
Yeah. So now, I mean, you're working with Mac McAnally. How does that feel? I mean, he's a legend. I mean, all the stuff that he's done. I mean, do you have to? I guess I would just kind of pass out on the floor, to think that he was in there in control. But I mean, he's pretty easy to work with, I'm sure. But I mean, how does it feel to be running with him? Honestly,
man, I'm a lucky guy to be able to work with him. And everything I've ever put out. He's been the producer behind it, and I've got to, had the pleasure to sit down and write some stuff with him. And I live in Northeast Kansas. Of course, he's in, Tennessee. And so it's kind of hard to, go next door and visit with him. So we email stuff back and forth and maybe a phone call now and then. But the way I got, hooked up with him was there was already a connection because he had produced the last 3 albums that Dad put out.
Right.
And I got to be around him a little bit. I didn't really know him that well, but I'd sit kind of in the control room while Dad was in the studio doing some vocal tracks or something. And then fast forward, quite a few years later, once I started, kind of wanting to write and do some recording stuff, and there was these song ideas that my dad had started years and years ago, but never did finish.
Right.
and I was kind of working with one or two of them, and then Mac kind of caught wind of what I was trying to get accomplished, and he invited me down to his place. Well, man, let's try to finish one. So I went to his house, and this was probably back in, I want to say 2015, 2016, and we wrote this song. It's called "We Ain't Got It All," and so it's kind of like a brand new Chris Ledoux song, co-written with myself and Mac, and it's been a great relationship ever since.
Well, that's awesome. Ain't no doubt. And that's funny how people can do stuff on the internet. You know, we had Billy Dean the other day, and they wrote that new song he's got out, The Rest of It's Mine, with Paul Overstreet. And they wrote the song via text. They were texting back and forth. That's the way the song actually come out. So it's amazing how that works, you know, where you can do that across the internet or not being in the same room. But
yeah, and I wrote it on this new album, Buckskin. I did probably more co-writing than I have, I think, probably that I ever have. And I was texting my older brother, Clay, and he was asking what I was up to. And I said, well, I'm just kind of getting back into songwriting. And he said, man, it'd be cool to write a song with you someday. And my brother's 5 years older, and I don't think he's ever really done any songwriting. And I said, well, I actually got this idea about this rodeo guy just traveling around, and, you know, he wore the blue out of his jeans, and his hat's never clean. And he said, and I said, well, I'll just send you this idea. And I said, there's no pressure, no rush. And it was like early the next morning. It was during the winter time, and he runs the snow plow for the state of Wyoming.
Right.
And he came back with this second verse. And I said, dude, you need to be a songwriter. This is perfect. So there's a song on the new album that I wrote with my brother, which I'm thrilled about.
So what is it called?
It's called Rodeo Dreams.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not about me, and it's not about my brother. It's just, you know, we grew up in a rodeo family, you know, Dad being a world champion bareback rider, and my little brother rode bareback horses. So it's just kind of, you know, it's always been a part of the family. But we know some of these guys that they do it, and they love to do it, even if they're not making any money.
Yeah.
That's their way of life. And there is kind of a age limit, you know, as far as rough stock, riding bucking horses or bulls.
Right.
You know, you don't see a whole lot of, you know, 45 and up, you know, doing it competitively. But yeah, it's kind of for those guys that just, you know, they'll die under their shield.
Well, you know, that's the thing, though. That's kind of bled over into country music now, because it's so hard to make it in the music world, man. I mean, it is just, I mean, you know, it's hard. I mean, you ain't got CDs anymore to sell at shows, and the live shows are kind of where your money's at, and it just seems like, you know, the music business, you know, a lot of folks are out there doing it because they love it. I mean, and I think it's great that you're still out there. I love it. And I mean, you know, actually, and probably people say that, you know, you sound and you talk a lot like your dad, which is, yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of your dad, and that's funny, you know, because my boys, I've got kids, and my youngest boy is in his early 20s, and he's got your dad and you on his playlist, and I thought that was pretty cool, because, you know, he had one of your dad's songs playing, and I'm like, man, that's Chris Ledoux, and he's like, oh, I love him, and I said, well, what about Ned? Got him on there too, you know, and that's, you know, carrying on the thing, so, but that's great. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So how's the new album going? I mean, are you getting a lot of sales? Everything going good with it?
I guess it's doing pretty good. You know, I'm one of those artists that don't really keep an eye on the charts and sales and all that stuff. But I did hear just the other day, my manager said, "Well, hey, your new single "Open Road" is at number 57 on the Music Road charts."
Right.
That's and good. I was like, "Well, hey, that's kind of cool, you know, for being a independent artist. You know, just kind of doing my own thing." But yeah, and we still sell CDs. You know, I'm still a CD, you know, collector, buyer, or whatever. I think they sound way better than streaming stuff.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, it's handy to stream. You know, I do it myself. But
Right.
if I want to listen to a full album or a song and have it sound really good, I'll jump in my pickup and put a CD in and crank it up, and it just has more bottom end and a fuller sound versus, you know, streaming something off your phone.
Yeah, I'm with
so
you.
yeah, we still sell the CDs at the shows.
NedLaDue.com. Now, you can go on this, and he's got his brand new album out, which is Buckskin, which is a great album. Y'all going to love this, but NedLaDue.com. Not to mention, you can get T-shirts, you can get autographs, and the whole 9 yards are out there. And if you'd like to book him in this part of they got the booking information going on with that. But like I said, Ned, you've got a great show, and I always love to keep up with you. But now, the thing about the independent artists, and that's why I like support independent artists, because y'all get to put out what you want to. You don't have somebody in control, and, y'all get together and put the music out. I guess you got more freedom. Do you like that? I mean, as far as being signed to a record label that says, no, don't do this and don't do that.
Well, I guess I've never experienced the record company deal, and I guess I just kind of thinking back, on what Dad did once he got signed. They gave him kind of free reign. They would send him, and this was back in the day where, I think probably before cell phones, really, but they would send him boxes of CDs, of other people's songs, and because he kind of got to the point with the songwriting where he just kind of left it up to somebody else.
Right.
I mean, every now and then he might go ahead and try to pin one together, but he would go through all these boxes of songs, but yeah, there's nobody kind of looking over his shoulder saying, "Man, Chris, that could be a single," but it wouldn't fit what he did. So he was really picky on, what songs he recorded that were from outside writers, and so I do like the freedom of being an independent artist. I guess it's probably a little more challenging.
Right.
If I had a record company backing me up with, distribution and advertising and, more money,
yeah,
is always a big deal. But yeah, I just like the freedom of it. And, I'm just kind of writing my own story.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And y'all can go to, like I said, NedLaDue.com. Go to YouTube. He's on YouTube. You can go and subscribe to his channel. That also helps him, too, with Ned LaDue and all that. Keep going on that. Let me ask you another question. I always thought it was pretty cool when Hank Williams Jr. did that duo with his dad. He actually went back and cut a song, and they took the voice for his dad, and he got to sing with his dad. You ever thought about doing something like that with one of the older, maybe popular songs that your dad have? And
Yeah, it's me and Max. Actually, I kind of tossed the idea to him about that. He said, "Man, I'm all about it." And I was talking to somebody else, and it might have been one of my brothers, and they said, "Well, they probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between you and him."
Well, no, he's right about that. Y'all do sound a lot like.
Yeah, and that's just the way it is, and the way it's going to be. But that's probably the best compliment I could get. When somebody says, "Man, you sound like your dad," but I think Jacob Dylan sounds a little bit like his dad as well.
Right.
It just runs in the family, no matter what family you're in.
Yeah.
It's just bound to happen. But yeah, it is kind of an idea of maybe doing, whether it's a tribute album or maybe just one song.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool what Hank Jr. did with his dad. And
oh yeah, that was
hearing
awesome.
the video and
everything.
everything.
Yeah, I think you could do it, no doubt. We ain't got much longer left, but I would like to, one more thing I want to touch on that folks need to know, that you actually worked with your dad before he passed away. You was playing in the band and this, that, and the other. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I played drums for him for, 6.5, almost 7 years. And I was in a couple of different bands when I was younger. Started off playing drums when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. Got my first band, I think the summer before my freshman year of high school. And so I played in this first band all through high school. And then once I graduated, I joined a different band that was playing more often. And then it was August of 98. And my dad's drummer, K.W. Turnbow, got in a car wreck and messed his shoulder up pretty bad. And I thank God that that's all it was, just the shoulder. But so he was laid up, and doctors thought he might be out for close to a year with the surgery and physical therapy and all the stuff he'd have to go through to be able to come back and play again. And so Dad came up to me and asked if I'd like to maybe come out and give it a try, play drums. And so that's how I got the gig. And then when K-Dub was able to come back and play again, the original idea was I was just going to turn over the drumsticks to K-Dub, and then I was going to go sell merch.
Right.
You know, because K-Dub was the drummer.
Mm-hmm.
But then Dad thought, well, man, I mean, you've been doing a great job, Ned, and K-Dub is glad to have you back, and maybe there's a way to where both of you could play at the same time.
Right.
And so that was the creation or the start of the two-headed monster.
Yeah.
And so we had a drum kit. To look at the front of it, it looked like just one big drum set. But then you get behind it, and it had two drum stools. And so one side of it was like your basic four-piece kit. Then connected to it was a percussion kit.
Right.
So we would sit side by side about arm's length away and just hammer it out. And it was a lot of fun.
That had to be a blast. There ain't no doubt about it. Folks, we're talking to Ned Ledoux, and go to nedledoux.com. Got a brand new album, and I'm telling you, if y'all have not listened to his stuff, y'all need to get on it and order some of this stuff and support this young man. He's out there trying to make it, and it's a rough road to hoe. I'm sure he'll tell you that. But now, Ned, I sure appreciate you coming on, and like I said, like to keep up with you, and we support you in all that you're doing. And like I said, thank you so much for coming on. Have we left anything out that you want to touch before we get gone?
Man, I think we covered about everything we need to. But yeah, you can just go to nedledoux.com and find all the tour dates, and there's merchandise on there and about everything you need. And we're on all the social media platforms. Try to do the best we can keeping up with that. But yeah, come out and see a show. We got the physical product for sale out there because I can't sign a digital.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, come out and see a show if you're in our neck of the woods, or if we're in your neck of the woods. But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure visiting with you.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ned. Like I said, keep on playing that music, brother, and we'll keep on promoting you all we can out here. And like I said, folks, this is Ned Ledoux, Chris Ledoux's son. I know a lot of folks know him, and now y'all know Ned. So anyway, you be safe, brother, out there on the road, and we will talk to you next time. All right, Sherry, take it away.
Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services, specializing in the underground leak detection equipment that can save you tons of money. They can find exactly where that leak is and not dig up your whole yard. Give Grayland Leak Detection a call. They're GraylandLeakDetection.com or 706-897-9110.
Honey, what happened? You're all wet.
I've been trying to find this dang leak.
Why don't we call
No, I got this.
You always turn these things into a DI. Why did you do that? I'm calling Grayland Leak Detection Service.
Grayland has specialized equipment to pinpoint any leak, inside or underground, and fix it fast at a fraction of the cost of replacing your whole water service. Call Eric now at Grayland at 706-897-9110 or GraylandLeakDetection.com.
Finally, our water bill looks normal again.
Erlanger Urgent Care in Murphy and Express Care in Hayesville offer convenient walk-in care 7 days a week. Hours are 8 to 7 Monday through Saturday and 10 to 6 on Sunday. Both locations have plenty of free parking.
Coming to the Blairsville Fine Arts Center in Blairsville, Georgia, September 23rd at 6:30 p.m. It's Legacy Motown Review Band, singing and performing all your favorite Motown music from the 60s. Union County High School Jazz Band to lead off the show. Tickets $33. Get yours now at lmr.ticketleap.com. A show you do not want to miss. All proceeds benefit Union County High School Band. Come out and support our young adults. Again, get tickets at lmr.ticketleap.com.
Hey, it's Stephen Phillips of the Morning Dish for the new Hilltop Storage in Hiawassee. Now, everybody knows that I'm known for my organizational skills and keeping order. And that's what's great about Hilltop Storage. If I run out of space at home or at Benny's, I know that I've got as much storage space as I need. They got small units starting at 6x8, and all the units are climate controlled with indoor access. So if you've got too much stuff and can't stand to see it go, or if all the neighbors are complaining about the junk in your yard like mine are, rent at Hilltop Storage in Hiawassee. 706-994-2667.
Improving our patients' dental health, one smile at a time. Dr. Jared Houston, Dr. Courtney Marshall, and Dr. Tom Mims at Mims Family Dentistry live by that principle every day. Receive expert care with a broad range of services, from preventive dentistry and periodontal treatments to dental implants and orthodontics. Or maybe it's just about perfecting a beautiful smile. So if you're looking for a new dentist, consider Mims Family Dentistry on Bill Hughes Avenue in Murphy, or visit MimsFamilyDentistry.com.
Shop the end of summer clearance at Carolina Furniture and Mattress Outlet in Hayesville for big savings. You'll love our selection. We have home furnishings in stock and ready to take home or have delivered. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and home accents are on sale. It's a great time to shop. You'll find savings in every department. Hurry in for massive savings on the end of summer clearance at Carolina Furniture and Mattress Outlet in Hayesville. Going on now.
Early detection is the key to surviving colorectal cancer. That's why if you're 45 or older, a colonoscopy is so important. Erlanger Western Carolina Hospital makes it easy. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Michael Nerney, call 828-678-6781.
I just heard the screams down at your mailbox, and I know why. Your water bill is 8 times what it was last month. I bet it's a leak. Call Grayland Leak Detection at 706-897-9110. Get the water bill under control when you call Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services.
All righty, folks, we're back with you, and I'm going to tell you, I've been in the shoes of Nancy Pelosi as she was making a speech on the White House lawn. She said, Mr. President, thank you for unifying and inspiring a vision of stronger, fairer, safer future for our children. Your extraordinary leadership has made this glorious day possible. And what you hear now is what everybody done. And at that point, she said, hey, that's an applause line. Y'all are supposed to clap. Yeah, how about that? Then she went on and said, let us salute our leader, Schumer, and his colleagues in the Senate for their extraordinary leadership and success in bringing the bill to the floor.
All righty.
And that's what they got then. Then Schumer said, hey, that's an applause line. We've all been there. Nobody applauded.
Does that happen to you on stage?
Oh, man, I've been up there just tearing it up. We'll get done with the song. Everybody just sits there and looks at me.
Because everybody in the audience was busy hunting around for their little brown bag that they forgot to bring to
put the, yeah. Yeah, if you're going to take that, we'll get you a bigger bag. But, yeah, golly, that ought to give them a wake-up call when all the folks in the crowd just sit there and look at them like,
They don't get it.
They're talking about what is it, the inflation Advancing Act.
Anti-Inflation Act.
Yeah, every time they say that, it's going to make your life better. You know it's going to not. Ain't that the way it is?
And then they deny that there's any inflation. There is no inflation.
Oh, there's not?
But we're excited to tell you that we're working on the Anti-Inflation Act.
It's kind of like the Affordable Care Act. That made it more affordable, right?
Yeah, because everybody lost their insurance, and therefore they had more money to afford cigarettes and beer. Right? Because that's what everybody started doing, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer because they're going to die.
It's like when you see a homeless person, they say, well, don't give him any money because they're probably just going to spend it on, cigarettes and beer. And like, well, what do you think I was going to spend it on?
Nobody clapped, man. Nobody clapped. And they had to say that was an applause line. That's an applause line. I'm going to remember that next time.
I bet you didn't hear that on one of the major networks, though. I bet you had to hear it through your conservative news channels.
Probably.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I don't know. I'm seeing a little more information across the board on that was kind of surprising.
Really?
I'm just tired of the whole politics thing. So
we're going to have to put up with it the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
It's been going on forever.
This is going to make your life better. Ain't that what they say? Yeah. It's like, try it, you'll like it. And they do.
See, that's what you told me when I started doing. That's when I started doing this show. You said, "Oh, come on, you're gonna love it. We have so much. Just gonna love it, love it." Here I am.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. Just like a McDonald's commercial.
She got mad and quit. Now she's back.
I did not get mad and quit. I had
you threw a shoe at him.
Man,
that was
my book.
That was a boot. It was a boot.
I was mad though.
Still a toad boot, man.
Yeah.
Still a hole in the wall over there.
Ooh.
I could throw a leg at him now. It's sitting over here behind me.
I mean, they're talking about our children and all that, making their lives better. They're going to have to pay for this,
There's that Martin.
Oh, darn. No joke of the day.
I forgot the joke of the day and the quote
We got to
of the
do
day.
2 tomorrow. We'll do 2 tomorrow.
We'll make it up to you, folks. We'll make it up to you. So anyway, y'all go check out Ned Ledoux. He's really a good kid. He's not a kid. He's a grown man. But anyway, that being said, all the folks on TikTok. How many we got on TikTok? 12 people on TikTok. Hey, we're rocking and rolling. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you tomorrow.